Hello there, Mick.
Good morning, Katja.
How are you today?
I'm feeling very good, thank you. Especially after listening to a Supermind call with Vic and Bettinger last night.
Oh, yeah, wasn't it amazing? Yes. So today we wanted to talk about another way of seeing relaxing. You know, what does relaxing do for the body? And what happens really when we relax? And I mean, as you said a little earlier, you know, the word's been used in a lot of different ways, but what is really behind that? So we want to bring some light into that today. So would you like to share your take on that?
I'm happy to start saying something about it, because as a Tai Chi teacher for many years, and I'm sure people who've taught Tai Chi will recognize this, the word that is most used in the class again and again and again and again is relax. And in a Tai Chi sense, or also in traditional meditation, so on, being told to relax or telling yourself to relax is a very external technique, if you like, it's almost like there's a part of us that we do from the outside to tell ourselves to relax. And what I've found since again, I feel my experience of the three principles is such a glimpse. I feel like I've really scratched the surface of what is possible to see, or possible to understand, or possible to know. And what I have gathered is that there is a momentum, there is a relaxation that can happen at a very deep level, that has nothing to do with technique. It has nothing to do with needing to relax. It has nothing to do with being conscious of relaxing. But it comes from seeing how much unnecessary tension we're holding. I was going to say thinking, but in the thinking is the tension. For me, in a physical sense, each of our muscles are either on or off. Each of our muscles are either, contracted or let go. Contracted or let go. And thinking is something similar for me. That as soon as we have a thought and we follow the thought, that is a doing. That's a doing something. And those thoughts register in the body. Those thoughts produce feelings, and those feelings are made physical in the body. And as soon as those thoughts stop, or as soon as thinking subsides and the mind quietens down and it comes to its natural state of rest, or comes to its state of clarity, comes to its state of peaceful abiding. The Buddhists call the shamatha, the peaceful abiding. That state is who we are without thought. So it's not somewhere to get to, it's not somewhere to achieve, but it's the force inside us already existing. And when our body likes that state a lot. is the best I can put it. Our body responds very, very nicely to that state. It feels good. Would you like to?
I like that you say that the body likes that. I think it's because it's the most natural position that we can be in. I mean, it's when we relax, it's not something we need to do. We just need to stop doing what we're doing to get out of the state of relaxation, because relaxation really is our way of being. I mean, I think we get it, a lot of the time we get it the wrong way around, you know. It's like I said in one of our last conversations, it's like thinking that when we are in this high feeling of everything's fine, everything's good, and everything looks lovely, we think that's an exception. And it's the same with our well-being in the physical sense. When we feel relaxed, I think that's our natural state. And when we cover it up with what we create in our personal mind, which then, as you say, gets reflected in the body or manifests in the body as tension. And all of it is covering up that which was already there. And so that you say the body really likes us being relaxed. I think it's because the body then gets access to its natural source of energy. And it gets replenished. It gets connected to the source of life itself. So it's like feeding our body. It's like some gurus, obviously, they can live without food and without drink. They're just in an incredibly relaxed state, and all they need is that life force energy that comes directly through to them. I mean, that's an extreme case, right? But that's as close as we can get, I think, as human beings, of feeling that pure energy in our bodies, and it's pure healing. It's what makes us be alive, and that creates the connection, or it doesn't really create it, but it makes it obvious that we are connected to that pure life and that we are that life. So when somebody says to you, oh, just relax, you're okay, and all that, that's true. It's just that we feel we can't do it because we feel we need to be doing something. But in reality, we just have to stop doing what we're doing to separate ourselves from that. Do you get where I'm pointing to? It's just the other way around, isn't it?
It's become like relaxing is doing something.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that's happened, but that seems to have been how our conditioning or our upbringing or the way the world is, or that relaxing is something special. Whereas, when we go to sleep at night, we let things go. We let the day go. We let things drop. And we know, everyone knows that we need to sleep at night. We don't question that. We just know that, oh, I have to sleep. And some people have more sleep than others, and some people feel they haven't slept enough, etc. But at the same time, what we generally don't know is how deeply we can let go during the day, how deeply we can let go into life. You know, how we can be taken we don't have to do it all. You know, relaxing is not another thing to do. It's not another thing to put on the to-do list. And there's something, I mean, I'm just reminded of the call last night where we were discussing gravity and the experience of gravity, or both in terms of having a habitual gravity towards our ego, a habitual gravity towards our intellect, towards the figuring things out, towards insecurity, towards all of the stuff which gets us into trouble. And then at the same time, there's an opposite attraction towards love, towards well-being, towards oneness, towards surrender. And for me, when I get a taste of that, it's almost like my body you know, when a plant has a plant hasn't been watered for a while and it's slightly dried up and kind of slightly wilted, and for me, when I get a taste of the inner connection to life, it's like filling myself up with water, and it just sort of, you know, my body just comes back to life, and there's this energy, like you were saying, Katja, that, you know, life is healing when we get a taste for the water. I don't know if I'm. I don't know.
Yeah, when we get, I think life is healing once we get an understanding how the system works. You know, how, I mean, if it's a plant and we somehow know, oh my God, the poor thing just needs water, so we put it on and then it comes back to life. I think once we know how this works for ourselves, that the giving water is just giving back that energy. And where does that energy come from? And in relaxing, that energy flows through us automatically. So it's like, it's just knowing that. I don't know what else we can do, really. Because as soon as we come into the doing mode, we don't have access to the water as much. I mean, to a certain extent we have, but it's much more abundant when we just allow life to do that watering. So it's in a way, it's a faith of that life does give us that replenishing water when we allow it to happen. And actually there is some safety mechanisms in build also, because, you know, when we are totally exhausted and absolutely exhausted, you sometimes see it in children, they just fall asleep wherever they are. You know, they just they can't do it anymore. They just crash. And it's like, okay, like you said, when we're sleeping, we are connected to that. This is why we sleep. Because our body needs the reconnection to that filling station. Like Dickens spoke about the filling station yesterday. It's like, that's why we sleep. We fill up with that fresh life energy during the night, and then we are ready again to go the next morning. And we can even stay awake to the fact that we're connected to that source all the time. And we don't have to take ourselves away from it. And when somebody says to us, oh, just relax, it just more or less means, give yourself to life again. You don't have to do anything to relax. It just happens. And with this moment of awareness that I'm not relaxed. I'm not relaxed. Okay. Yes. Because I'm relaxed. And I mean, I had lots of tension in my body. I had so much tension in my body that was unbelievable. And I still create some tension now, but it's just that I wake up to it before it really, really harms me, before it really gets to me now. And when it sometimes does, I've got sore neck muscles. I think, I need to relax. Okay. Just the ability to relax is innate. It's our being is relaxed, and then we learn otherwise, and it's all conditioning, expectations, beliefs, stuff we carry around, all the luggage from the past, the baggage, heavy load, stuff we accumulate through the years of experiencing things, starting to believe things. So once more, it's all in the opposite direction. It's in going back to our natural position, really, and where the body then automatically gets replenished with all this healing, and it can regenerate. And I was watching a video, just random, on YouTube this morning. I was watching, and this guy was speaking about his way of having access to natural healing. And it was funny because what he was talking about was all truth, and he was pointing towards the calm place inside, and that we can reach through meditation and through doing things we enjoy. And he was just completely spot on. And I was thinking, yeah, that's all that's required. Relaxing is something that we have stopped doing because we covered it up. We covered the knowledge up that that's our natural state, and we would be doing it naturally. Even in the midst of chaos, we can be relaxed. We don't have to buy into the story of things that we make up. And it's the only true source of healing. Because only in a relaxed state we can get fresh thinking. And fresh thinking is what's required when we run into health issues. It's always just like a mirror of our personal mind. The body is just displaying something that otherwise we wouldn't be able to notice. So at the same time, you can be really very grateful for that, because it helps us to grow and to evolve. And the funny thing is that when you really truly realize that as that is already who you are, it becomes really much easier. The whole journey is much easier. It's still a journey, but it's like you take lots of that baggage off and you just travel lighter. And when you got less luggage and less baggage to carry around with you, you are more relaxed automatically, because it's like it's a natural mechanism which gets us closer and closer to it.
You can play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, playing becomes much more fun, really, because you don't take it that serious. And, you know, I can remember as a young girl that people used to say to me, oh, you just do things you enjoy doing, and that's all you need to ever do in life. And I was always, no, you can't. Life's so serious and all this. You're just enjoying myself. It's like, I can remember that. Can't be that easy. But it truly is, because the more we just relax into who we truly are, and we automatically grow when we are relaxed. When we are relaxed and we run into some problematic issue, we're going to deal with it in a completely different way than when we are caught up already. And so enjoying ourselves with what we can enjoy and putting our focus on what's enjoyable helps us to relax. And when we relax, everything's happening automatically. You see, it's less all the focus on the positive part of things automatically leads to relaxing, which when we relax, we see more positive, and it's like a spiral. It's the opposite is true. When we focus on the negative things, we see nothing but negative, and we get tenser and tenser and tenser because it becomes more and more uncomfortable. But it's all of it is just made up. And the thing is, once we relax and we default to that natural state, the positive spiral is happening for us, just automatically. So relaxing is a real magical thing. And there's no doing in it, and at the same time we get all the benefits from it. And it's like starting off to have an easier life, to have a more healthy life, more enjoyable, more fun, and more relaxed. Just feels better. Doesn't look like that when we're all stressed, does it? That it's that easy.
It doesn't look like it's the answer.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that there's no end. There's no end to how relaxed we can be. There's no ceiling. There's no ceiling to relaxation.
No, it's in the way we are wired up. We can never come to the end of realizing that there's even, how can I say it? We can never come to the end of realizing that there is even more to see, and the spiral is endless. It just goes to, I mean, yesterday I sort of got another glimpse of that I sort of suddenly thought, oh wow, it's always gonna go further and further, how we grow and how we evolve, and we come closer and closer to more love, to more peace, to more wisdom, just by natural default. And there's there's no end of it. So relaxing into life really is this never-ending journey into better and better and better. But you know what? I mean, if we become better, better and better, it's more and more fun to play with our creative abilities of creating what we see in life. We're just not taking it that serious. We will still be creating. You know, I can remember when I was a child that people said that, oh, life is a lifelong journey of learning and you'll never stop learning. But then there came this state as a teenager where I thought I knew everything. And that's when I started to get stuck, when I sort of started to think I know everything. And then in later years that manifested in my body, and it sort of, you know, I tensed up with the way I thought life works, and it's sort of all this was then getting into this limited view of who I really am. And now opening up towards that all that's required is relax into, oh, there's something bigger there, there's something more to see. And then seeing this potential of getting better all the time. And all it's required is to relax. And anyway.
Another way to say it would be opening.
Yeah, we open up to that potential.
We open more, you know, it's like opening our gaze, opening gaze, or opening possibility, opening awareness, opening to something bigger and bigger and bigger.
It's like relaxing into a potential that we don't think possible.
As Michael Neal would call it, the space where miracles happen. So maybe that's a good place to
yes, wrap it up.
Rest.
Yes. So how can people get in touch with you if they wanted to have a chat about this with you?
My email address is mick@coach24.co.uk, and my website is coach24.co.uk. And you,
Okay.
Katja?
Okay, well, my internet, my website is www.katjasymons.com. That's spelled KATJASYMONS.com. And thank you very much again for this chat today. I enjoyed it. Hope you did too.
I did.
All right. See you later.
Till the next.